Greetings, friend. Now, I don't know what brought you to this video, but I assume that you're considering suicide. I mean, after all, it's in the title of the video. So you did a search on YouTube, probably on other sites as well, Googled it, you're considering it. You know, and you've been thinking about it for a long time. Toying with the idea, understanding how simple it would be. Put one of these against your head and pull the trigger and lights out. Just that simple. Just a couple of pounds of pressure on the trigger and that's it, man. Because you're tired. You're tired of being tired. Now this message really is directed primarily to veterans, returning veterans. But it really applies to anybody that's considering suicide. But I want to really focus on you guys that have been downrange and now you've come back. You're either on leave or you've ETS'd, you're done. And you're feeling like shit because it's been nothing but bad news, you know. Maybe your wife is fucking around on you while you're overseas. Maybe your girlfriend dumped you. Whatever. Might be in the middle of a major divorce. A messy divorce where you're going to lose everything. All the things you worked for, your credit, everything's going to be completely fucked up. And man, I ain't gonna lie to you, man. I've been down that road. And it's a bitch. And it's a battle. But you should be used to that by now. You should be used to battles. And you got to look at all battles the same, man. Let me just say this. I'm not here to stop you from doing what you're going to do, because the fact of the matter is I can't stop you. I don't even know you. But I do know that nobody but you can stop whatever decision you've made. Now, the fact that you're on this video indicates that you're not 100% sure, or you'd already have done it. So, with the assumption that there's still some time to think about this, I want to lay a few thoughts on you. Now, again, because I don't know you and I can't possibly know your story, you could be in one of many situations in terms of who you are and what your life experience has been. Maybe you were downrange in Afghanistan and or Iraq, multiple deployments, maybe just one deployment, who knows. Maybe you've killed a person, maybe you've killed a shitload of people. Maybe you never killed anybody. Maybe you never really saw any combat at all, but you were downrange and you were away from your family. You've been through a lot, brother, sister. You've been through a lot. Now, I'm not going to kiss your ass, but I'm going to tell you some things that I think it's important for you to know. Because when I say the word I am not just speaking of myself. I'm speaking for countless, hundreds of thousands of Americans who think just like me. And maybe they're just silent, or they just are busy living. And not everybody can reach out and touch you. But I want to share some thoughts with you. And again, when I say I'm speaking on behalf of right-minded Americans. You know, I don't care what you did over there. And I mean that. I mean, I don't give a shit if you mowed down kids. Now, don't get me wrong. If you were in this country and you were out shooting kids, then I guess you'd be a fucking criminal. But you took an oath to protect and defend the Constitution. You put on our country's uniform. And you went where we sent you. And you did the dirty, nasty, stinky, bloody, fucked up thing that most Americans never will do and don't want to know about. Don't hate them. They can't help it. You know, there's different types of people, sheepdogs, you know the deal. And being where you've been is not a normal, quote unquote, experience for people. You're a war fighter. And to be a war fighter, you've got to adopt a certain mindset, and you've done that. And the reason I know that is you're still alive. You're sitting here watching me talk to you. So you were successful. And there's a lot of psychological shit that goes on in the mind of a warfighter, and I'm not qualified to get into it from a professional standpoint. I'm just another Joe, just like you. But I can tell you this, that I understand the insane reality of being in a terrible situation and just wanting to get out of it. All the hours that you spent downrange wishing that you could get home and get out of it. And then when you were out of it, wishing to God you could be back into it. That paradox of hating and loving at the same time. Because it was your world, man, and it's a world that most people don't know and never will know. It was a high-speed life or death situation. That brotherhood, man, that sticking together, that fighting for the people around you. That insane violence that just pops up out of nowhere, man, and that euphoric feeling of having come through it alive. That shit is heavy. And now you're back in the world, and holy shit, there's mundane realities that are important to everyone else. You got bills to pay. You may have a wife that wants to talk about painting the house and picking out curtains. 6 months ago you were making decisions that affected the lives of everyone around you. You might have been a squad leader, and you had the weight of everyone around you on your shoulder in terms of whether they lived or died. And now you got to go to Home Depot and pick out fixtures and shit for cabinets. How do you stay interested in that? How do you get interested in that? Oh, you're not the same person you were when you left, you may be hearing. That's true, you're not. And you're never going to be the same person. But I want to offer something out to you. Now, I have not been downrange. I'm an old, I'll be 50 here in another couple months. And back when I was jumping out of airplanes with the airborne, we didn't have shit going on like you guys have been dealing with. It was the Cold War days. Talking about the 80s. But many of you know that watch my channel know that I am a retired LA police officer. So, I haven't seen sustained combat like you, but I sure have had that feeling of prowling through the projects in Los Angeles at dark 30 with my hair on my neck standing up and the smell of smoke coming out of the barrel of my weapon. Wondering if I was going to make it through the next 5 seconds. I got you, brother. I've been there. But now you're here. You're sitting at home and you get that feeling. I don't know if you've seen my other suicide video. I've been where you're at, man. I laid it out on a video where I went through some shit of my own and came very close to putting a round through the old grape years ago. And, I got through it, man. And that doesn't make me a hero. It makes me a guy who wants to pass on some information to you that I hope you'll consider before you do something as irreversible as taking your own life. That chapter in your life, that chapter when you were over there, wherever that is, the things that you did, the things that you saw, the things that were happening around you, that is a chapter in your life. And no matter how fucking stinky and dirty and nasty and scary and awful it was an honorable chapter in your life. You did what we asked you to do. You cannot be wrong. You did everything that we asked you to do. And what you were doing was not a pretty thing. That's why you were doing it. And the rest of us were sitting here buying iPods and watching TV while you were over there just trying to get through from 1 hour to the next. And you made it. You made it. And now you've got to give yourself time to accept a couple of realities. One is that you're not ever going to be the same, but that's not a bad thing. Look, none of us are the same, and that's the thing. That's the thing you don't know that you need to really focus on. I'm not the same guy I was when I was rolling through the hood in the wee hours of the morning, back when the gang wars were fucking out of control in the 80s, and they were ambushing cops and, you know, everything that led up to the riots in LA, which, you know, I paid dues during that time as well. You're not gonna have thoughts of lily-covered fields as you lay down trying to sleep. Your legs are shaking because you can't sleep, and you're addicted to every fucking medication known to man. I get it. I totally get it. But what I want you to understand is that it seems like a long time, but time moves fast, as you know. You should know. And in a very, very short time, there's going to be some distance between what you did and where you're at now. And time really does help. It heals. It heals everything. You have to allow yourself to grow back into being in the civilian world. Now, you don't have to. I mean, you could certainly click off this video and blow your brains out. I'll never know about it. The only people you really hurt will be anyone who loves you and people that are close to you. At the very least, you'll become another statistic, a growing statistic of returning vets that are resorting to suicide. But you have to consider, I would hope that you would consider the reality that the one guarantee that we all have in life, the one thing that we all have in common, is that death is waiting for us down the road. So why rush to it? No matter how fucked up you think things are, I can make an absolute promise to you that if you just if you give life time, give yourself time to readjust to your new mission. That mission being to make a success of yourself and to go out and get happiness, no matter what's going on. It's my dog behind me. You know, having a mission is important to you, and maybe the fact that you think that you don't have a mission is what's weighing heavy on you. You know, but I would offer up this, that you need to find a new mission in life. And your new mission needs to be to stand strong and lean forward like you did when you were over there. Suck it up and pull it together and defeat this depression, this thing that has wrapped itself around you, making it so hard to breathe. All of this other bullshit, the divorce that you're getting ready to go through or you just went through, all of the financial shit, you lost your home, you can't get a job, you're fucked up, you're wounded, you're trying to recover from post-traumatic stress disorder, you've got traumatic brain injury. Those are all huge things. But every single one of those is surmountable. I don't give a fuck if you have no arms, no legs, and you're just a fucking torso and you're looking at this computer because someone pressed the button to bring the screen up. You have a future, And in that future are smiles and happiness. You just got to give it time, man. You need to not quit. Because you're going to die eventually anyways. Stick around this fucking planet as long as possible and fight your way into happiness. It'll be another victory, man, and it'll be a sweet victory for you. Trust me on this. Get through the day today. Don't think about ways to turn out the lights. Think of ways to get into the lights. Get into the light of the living life. If you're in a wheelchair, have somebody roll your ass to a nice location at the side of a river and fucking pay attention to what's going on around you. And understand that the scenes in your mind of combat and the smells of Afghanistan or Iraq or wherever you were, all of that stuff is just chapters of your life. You did the job that we sent you to do. Don't let anyone judge you, and don't be too hard on yourself, judging yourself for things that you did that by the standards of a civilian life might be horrific. I mean, unloading with a fucking saw into a group of people, at 5th and Broadway may be fucked up. I'll give you that. But let no man judge what you did downrange. That was a different world, a different planet. And you were doing exactly what we wanted you to do. And now, you need to just redefine who you are. Give yourself some time to heal. And stop thinking about killing yourself. It's a fucking weak way to go, man. And I'm not trying to shame you out of it. I'm telling you the way it is. Death will come. Give it time. But life is in between this moment and that moment. And God damn it, man, you need to go out and find happiness, no matter what your condition is, no matter what your situation is. Don't ever let the actions of someone else force you into justifying terminating your own existence. And I'm talking about wives, ex-wives, girlfriends, fucking bosses, people, whatever the case, man. You suck it up and remember who you are. You're a war fighter, and you're going to stand strong, and you're going to get through this shit. I hope this message resonates with you. It's all that I can offer, because I don't know you. I don't know who you are, and in the end, it wouldn't matter if you were sitting right in this room related to me. You're going to make your decisions. I hope you make the right decisions. Choose life, my friend. Airborne. Airborne all the way.